So maybe you've seen the big news, the price reduction for state of Florida prepaid college plans. The ads read, everything's on sale. It's the lowest prepaid prices in 10 years, lowered by up to 25% in some cases. So the question is, with that price reduction that we're seeing on Florida college prepaid plans, should you take advantage of the sale? Well, on this segment, we're going to explore the ways and the reasons why you might not want to take that deal. All coming up on this segment of Dollars and Cents, here where we make sense out of all of life's decisions involving your dollars. One of Central Florida's longest running radio programs. Also, a top 25 financial planning podcast on the big wide world web out there. My name, of course, is Joel Garris, certified financial planner, certified financial fiduciary at Nelson Financial Planning, where we got a team of great people who stand ready this week to talk about your options, whether they be about college saving or retirement or investing or taxes. All of that is fair game for conversation here at our office at Nelson Financial Planning. Interested in learning more, just go to our website, nelsonfinancialplanning.com, and check us out there. You'll see things like our investment philosophy, our approach, why we do things the way that we do. All of our conversations, of course, are absolutely free, so don't hesitate to schedule that free conversation once you're on the website at Nelson Financial Planning. So let's recap some of the fundamentals here when we talk about saving for college, right? Two sort of options. You've got the prepaid plan, and then you have like a savings plan. So the prepaid plan, you kind of lock in the tuition rates. That's the plus. It's effectively risk-free, right? If you buy like a 4-year university plan, well, then you're going to get the benefit of having 4 years of tuition covered by virtue of the prepaid plan. Unfortunately, if you don't go to college, then you just get your money back without really any interest. And ultimately, there's sort of a preference for in-state, right? Because if you go out of state, you just get sort of the equivalent value, and that might not be as clean a conversion, if you will. So those are sort of the quick pros and cons on the prepaid side. Savings plan, college savings plan, in contrast, is pure investment, right? So there's more risks there because however much you have for college is clearly a function of what you invested and how well that did over time. But the flexibility on those savings plans is really pretty broad, not necessarily a bias towards in-state. Use it pretty much anywhere, and use it for anything and everything, right? With the prepaid plan, you might buy the tuition, but the tuition doesn't cover the dorm, it doesn't cover the books. With a savings plan, you can use that money for whichever part that you want, as long as it's a valid college expense. In fact, we dedicated a whole chapter in our new book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents, to this topic and understanding your choices for college savings. So if you haven't gotten your copy of your Next Gen Dollars and Cents book, it is available on Amazon, or as we like to share with our listening audience, if you make an appointment with us for one of those free conversations, chances are we'll give you a free book when you come on in as well. So that's kind of the end around, if you will, to not have not give Amazon too much business, because heaven knows we all give Amazon a lot of business. Anyway, so we got a whole chapter in the book dedicated to your choices when it comes to paying and saving for college. But I wanted to give some very specific examples on, even with this sort of sale on Florida college prepaid plans, why we're not really a big proponent of it. And so hopefully this example will help to give some perspective on it. You're going to have to stay with us kind of through the math and all that. But let's say you just had a kid, or you just had your first grandkid or whatever, and they are a newborn. So if you go to the state Florida prepaid website, kind of look through it, figure out, lump sum that is needed for a 4-year university plan, you'll see that the lump sum is $27,373.47 to be precise. Now, you can pay that in a variety of ways. You can pay that over a 5-year period. You can pay that monthly. You can pay that in a ton of different ways. We just kind of looked at the lump sum number because that's kind of easiest to kind of work the math, if you will. So if you were to purchase a Florida prepaid plan today for a newborn with the special 25% off, biggest price reduction, lowest prices in 10 years, all this stuff that's all over the website, then you would need $27,000 and change. What also that same website says is that it estimates that the plan payout, or the value, if you will, of that $27,000 and change when that newborn goes off to college in 18 years is expected to be somewhere around $66,500 right there on the website. So by their own calculation, if you give them $27,000, they're going to give you back a benefit equal to $66,500. That sounds good until you actually start to run the numbers on it. So if I got 27 and the expected value is 66.5 in 18 years, that's sort of the future value of those dollars when today's newborn goes off to college in 18 years. So it sounds good, but if you take the same $27,373, that lump sum amount to buy the 4-year university, and just assume 8%. And look, that's like 80% of the historical long-term performance of 10%. So not over-assuming here by any stretch of the imagination, if you will, in terms of sort of tracking out over time, markets close to 10%. Okay, fine. Let's just assume 8%. At an 8% investment return rate, money's going to double in about 9 years. There's a rule of 72 that makes it easy. Take 72 divided by the rate of return, 8 equals 9. That tells you how long it's going to take money to double. If you're interested in more about that rule of 72, see the book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents, because we got some paragraphs in there about that. So if we take that and we run the numbers on the $27,373 that it takes to buy the lump sum 4-year university, tuition only, no books, no dorm, no nothing besides that. You know what that turns into? Run the number. Turns into about $108,000. That's more than $66,500. In fact, that's about 62% more than $66,500. So even if I'm way off on the assumption, maybe it's only 6%, maybe it's only 7%, you still wind up pretty far ahead versus what you would get. And the beauty of a college savings plan is that you can use that money for anything and everything college expense related, right? So that's not just the tuition, that's the dorm, that's the books, all of that. Hopefully y'all follow that math, clearly. The younger the beneficiary is, I think the answer is pretty crystal clear, right? Because they've got a long time frame for that money to grow and double. And ultimately, the decision then, particularly for that newborn, just makes a lot of sense to kind of pursue the savings and the investment orientation of a 529. Now, next example that we'll kind of put in here right at the end. Let's say they're in 8th grade and you haven't done anything yet. Right? Entering high school in the fall, the 4-year plan for them is $25,792. The expected payout, $34,000. This one's a little bit closer because it's a shorter time frame, right? And so there's a higher likelihood that that could be negatively impacted by the market, right? The shorter the time frame, the more you have to worry about underlying volatility. Same assumption of the 8% gets you roughly around that same amount, if you will, in terms of the expected payoff. So not that materially different, but remember the flexibility. There's a lot of flexibility with these savings plans, and that's significant and certainly creates a real advantage. So hope you follow that example and an analysis. Yet again, the importance of running the numbers, performing the analysis on any financial decision. On this one, don't buy the hype of lower prices. It is still not a particularly good deal for your kids' college savings strategy, especially if they are younger. Those are the kinds of things that we are here to talk about in the office at any time. So don't hesitate to give us a call at 407-629-6477 or visit our website, nelsonfinancialplanning.com, to schedule that free conversation at any time. Have a great rest of your day.